Thank you everyone for joining us. Q4 prep webinar series. We're going to be talking about driving traffic to Amazon today. So that will be through any channel. We're going to go over as much as we can today. My name is Andrew Maffetone. I am the Director of Operations and Marketing here at Seller's Choice. We are a full service digital marketing company for e-commerce sellers. I myself have been in marketing, majority e-commerce, for a little over a decade now. So I feel like I know what I'm talking about. We're going to find out. So we'll talk and we'll see how that goes. Let you introduce yourself here, buddy.
Hey guys, my name is Thomas Perchinsky. I'm the head of marketing and customer success at Landing Cube. And Landing Cube, what we do is help exactly what we're talking about today. We help Amazon sellers drive traffic from off Amazon to Amazon. And yeah, we have a software tool that takes the Amazon landing page or the Amazon listing, turns it into a landing page, and to drive traffic from Facebook or email or any other channel. So yeah.
Beautiful. So obviously standard webinar procedure, stick around to the end because we obviously will be trying to get to as many questions and answers as we can throughout the entire webinar. But for the ones that we can't get to, we're definitely gonna try and get to them towards the end. I blocked off a little bit of time to make sure we get to those. And Thomas and myself both have some stuff to give away to you guys so that you don't go home empty-handed. And so that, so I don't know if you guys can hear that. I have my dog here with me. Obviously stick around to the end. We'll be giving away some free stuff. I'm gonna run a poll real quick. Let's get this guy going. So I would love to know just where majority of everyone's sales are coming from. I'm gonna guess it's Amazon, but you never know. Sometimes we hear different stuff. I had a couple people vote for eBay. That's interesting. So it looks like almost everyone is a pretty large Amazon seller here. A couple people on other. Maybe Jet, maybe Etsy. Got a few other stuff out there, but definitely we're at 76% right now. Is a majority Amazon sellers are sitting on here right now, of course, which we pretty much expected to have, which is perfect because we're going to explain how you can improve Amazon. Although I would hope that the 77% of you right now also have presence elsewhere besides just Amazon. If not, the time may be to diversify. We're going to find out. We're going to talk about that stuff today. So 77% Amazon, 5% on a different platform, 5% on eBay, and 14% on other. I wonder what other is. So if you're here, let us know where else you guys are from. We have a chat option. Obviously, we have the questions. Feel free to send over any questions you guys have. So we can go ahead and get moving here on some of the stuff. So obviously, if you've joined us today, you're probably an existing Amazon seller, or at least you're thinking about it maybe. But you most likely have either exhausted all of your options on Amazon in terms of any exponential growth as opposed to just the standard scaling. You're looking to kind of take things up a notch. Of course, maybe you're having issues with a newer product, or you're in an incredibly crowded market or having trouble standing out, or of course you're just flat out awesome. So I like closing with that one. There's more that you may have if none of these touch on you, but obviously we're going to try to get into every aspect of why you may want to drive traffic to Amazon or whether you don't. So we're going to talk about ways to scale your business on Amazon through using external traffic. So most of the sellers who in the beginning are having issues comes from these two buckets. It's really a matter of someone who has way too much competition. So my favorite example for too much competition in an incredibly crowded market is cell phone covers. Like iPhone covers, I feel like we get new sellers all the time who are like, oh, we're looking to start a cell phone cover business. It is such a crowded market. So if you have such a crowded market, launching a new product can be a nightmare. It can be incredibly difficult. You have so much competition. You're fighting against the same keywords. Your differentiators are really not that big of a deal. At a certain point, you can only use the word durable so many times. Or you have the exact opposite problem. You're a first mover, so maybe you invented something. This was something I found, was the baby board. So it's basically like, it's like a kid sled, but it was like I don't know how someone's going to just stumble across this on Amazon. You have to know it exists, so people have to be searching this stuff. So there's a certain level of customer education that is also required. So then you have the complete opposite problem where your product is so differentiated that no one knows it exists, and it's impossible to gain any kind of exposure on Amazon without doing some kind of promotion off Amazon.
So it's that you got the two sides. One side is it's hard to rank for the keywords because there's so much competition, and the other side is people just aren't searching for the keywords. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's way too much traffic for keywords or just not enough. Or obviously you're a seller who's in the middle there where you're doing great and you've been doing well, but now there's only so much traffic on Amazon, so you have to start venturing off to build your brand a little bit.
Right.
So now we want to talk about obviously why you would want to do this. I know we're going to have some sellers here who have joined us who don't even really know why, and you probably just tuned in to see like, why would I want to do this? Which means if this slide doesn't sell you, you're going to leave. So we got to try and sell this one pretty good for a little while here. So this is obviously reaching a new audience. So it's a completely new audience. Yes, Amazon, I think Amazon is going to be 50% of retail sales online in the next month, I think, from what I saw the other day. So they will be obviously a huge majority of e-commerce sales over the entire internet, but it's still only 50%. There's still 50% other people out there who are shopping on Walmart, Jet, eBay, Rakuten, Etsy, and then of course you have the people who don't really care and they're shopping everywhere, in which case you have to reach them through other avenues. Then you have the added benefit. So your standard Amazon algorithm for the stuff that everyone knows is traffic, reviews, conversions, conversion rate, engagement, things like that. All things that can be improved by driving more traffic to Amazon. So that you tend to see a pretty significant increase in your BSR. And in terms of your organic traffic, just from driving traffic from off Amazon, you're actually going to start ranking better for different keywords and for your product. And then naturally you have easier operations. So if you're, if you don't have your own site and your thought is to your first step is, before I go building my own site, let me just start driving traffic to Amazon and see if that helps. And then I'll consider doing my own site. Obviously you have your FBA, you have, things that you don't have to deal with fulfillment, you don't have to deal with 3PL, you don't have to deal with any of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and just Andrew, one thing that I wanted to add, if you're driving traffic to Amazon, you have a chance at collecting contact info like emails or messenger subscribers. But if you sell a product on Amazon and then you try to do that, you can get into trouble with Amazon because of their terms. But if you're collecting emails and stuff beforehand through driving traffic, then you can use those emails, build customer relationships, and get more sales.
Yeah, but that's definitely very good point. I think we touch on that soon. Is it the next slide? No, but we'll get there. But yeah, so it's very true. Like, you don't own your customer on Amazon at all. You can't put a pixel in there. You can't put your Google conversion code in there. You can't get their email. You can't get any information. So even launching a new product is incredibly difficult. Doing any kind of discount or sales on a mass standpoint of doing like an email blast is a lot easier if you have an email list, as opposed to just doing it on Amazon, because you can't reach your customer. So now we touch on the mistakes people make for driving traffic to Amazon, which I know this was something you wanted to touch on.
Yeah, I mean, just that, when people, a lot of sellers will drive traffic straight to Amazon, straight to the listing. And, that's really, that's a mistake, because basically if you're driving traffic from Facebook to Amazon, someone scrolling through Facebook is a lot less likely to convert right there on the spot than someone searching on Amazon, just because of the purpose for which people are searching on Amazon is to buy, as opposed to someone sees a good ad on Facebook, they'll click on it, but they're probably less likely to buy right then and there. So when you do that, a lot of the benefits that you get from the increase in traffic are it harms the benefits because the conversion rates drop. So instead of sending traffic straight to Amazon, it's a better idea to send it to a landing page, or we'll see the storefronts, that sort of thing. basically a squeeze before they finally reach Amazon to not only to increase their conversion rates, but also you can get those emails to do more with later.
Yeah. So before we go further, so we talked a little bit about the mistakes of driving traffic to Amazon, as well as why you would drive traffic. I would love to do another quick poll. I'm just really interested to see how many people here are already driving traffic to Amazon versus how many are not. It'll kind of help guide where we want to make sure we touch on things here. But so this way, I'd love to know, who's currently driving traffic to Amazon. It doesn't matter how you're doing it. I don't care if it's email or social media or any kind of other ads, or if it's come through your site. And then those of you who say that you are not, I would love to know, because you have two options here. So you have three options here. You have yes, you are driving traffic. You have no, you're not, and you have no, but I'd like to. So the ones who are saying no, that don't want to, I would love to know why. I'd love to see if there's any questions you have that are deterring you from doing that and not wanting to do that. If not, maybe we'll touch on some stuff here. Neither Thomas or I work for Amazon, so if you choose not to, you don't have to. It's totally fine. So 46% of you right now are at a yes. So almost half of you have said that you're already driving traffic to Amazon. So you're probably looking to improve upon that. 19% at no, and then 35% at no, but you want to. So pretty much split on yes and no, but only about half of the no's want to actually do it. So let's see. Let's close this out real quick. All right. So we touched on the mistakes here of driving traffic to Amazon. I know we're going to get into landing pages. We're going to get into a bunch of different stuff here on that. So I wanted to touch on this might be the most underutilized thing I have seen on Amazon so far. I don't understand why no one is using storefronts right now. So this is just a couple that we had created for a couple clients of ours. This is your storefront. So you have to have your brand registered. So if you have access to enhanced brand content or headline ads or anything like that, you have your brand registered, which means you can have one of these storefronts. Your URL is completely customized. So it's amazon.com/campuscolors/pluszone, anything like that. And the nice thing about these is all this is completely customizable. So all these we created this stuff so it looked just like this. This can really help further your brand. We believe that Amazon is taking a small swing at Shopify, trying to basically just give you your own website on Amazon. These, I have a little highlighter thing. Let me let's use this guy. So these guys right here, these are all buttons, and then you have the option like this one here where it's actually a drop down. So it works just like the standard navigation on a website. It gives you the option to make any navigation you want. You can have one menu item for every product, or you can have multiple drop downs. Like this is obviously a collegiate apparel, so there's like hundreds of schools listed here. So there's some features missing, like obviously the ability to search through all that when you have such a large product line would be great, but they are really starting to give you more options here in terms of being able to drive traffic to Amazon and not necessarily having to deal with just sending people directly to the listing. However, there are still some negatives, such as not being able to search, but it is customizable and allows you to give you a brand. Now, I know the big problem that everyone always has with Amazon is being able to track whether you actually got a conversion. So this is always the biggest complaint about driving traffic. I just noticed that this go away. There it goes. Okay, so you drive traffic to Amazon, whether you're doing social ads or you're doing email and you're doing all this stuff, and you send it in and you go, I didn't really notice that big of an increase. How do I know if what I'm doing is working? So through the storefront, the one way you have the opportunity to do this is to actually create your own custom source tag. So you can go into the back end of these storefronts. You can actually create your own tag, which down at the bottom here I showed you is an example where essentially all they do is this is your storefront code, and then they give you this $channel equals, and then this is completely customizable. You can name it anything you want. So when you can actually take this link, put it into Facebook and put it into any ad you're running, or even put it into an email or a button that you have on your site or anything like that. And you can see how many people have actually clicked over it and how many people have actually converted through that URL. Now, the problem with it that we've found so far is that it's a URL, it's not a code. So it is very simple for this URL to get broken. It's very simple for someone to just kind of bounce around and all of a sudden it gets all messed up and now it's not tracking anymore. It does a very, very good job at tracking how much traffic has come in. It has its issues with tracking whether it's converting or not. So we do kind of have to still deter how many, not deter, we still have to determine how many people have actually converted by just kind of looking at sales and estimating. However, you do have other options. You have the option of doing a social media promo code. You have the option of doing an affiliate link, which we could touch on. But through the storefronts, this is one way where you can start to track traffic and send it to a more branded opportunity to hopefully increase the actual conversion rates of those listings.
And this is, I mean, this is a relatively new feature with Amazon just earlier this year, correct?
Yeah, so the storefronts, we saw some sellers late last year start to get them, but they were much larger sellers. Now it's just if you're brand registered, you get one. So yeah, they're completely out now. Everyone can get one if you have brand registry, and the storefronts are available. They really work well if you are trying to build a brand. If you have an eclectic amount of products, like I know there's a lot of people out there that are I don't want to say hobbyists, but like Amazon sellers who will just sell, any product that you can find that makes money. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. If you're making money, great. But if you're trying to build a brand, you can't really have an eclectic amount of products. Driving traffic to that storefront would make searching a nightmare for the consumer, and they're definitely going to leave your site. So it's not something I would suggest if that's the product line that you have.
Yep. Well, cool. Well, we're also going to talk about, so you got storefronts, and then also when driving traffic, you have the options of these two other landing pages. So a general purpose landing page, like Lead Pages or even MailChimp has a free landing page tool. So this is best if you're not trying to give out discounts for Amazon. Your main goal is just to collect emails. So just collect leads to eventually lead people towards purchase. And it's usually best practice to give away some free content that to start to educate the prospects on your product and brand. And then we have the Amazon specific landing page, which is what we provide with Landing Cube. And for here, your goal is to actually boost rankings on Amazon, and at the same time collecting emails. And the incentive you're going to provide to people who land on the page is a discount code for Amazon.
So it's funny, we actually just got not necessarily a question, but a comment. Prefer to send traffic with sponsored ads. Preference would be to send traffic to Shopify store for brand awareness and savings. Fun fact, I agree. So this is, in a perfect world, when we get the opportunity to work with someone, this is how we always like to set this up.
Right.
Driving traffic to your own site. You can have your own content on there. You have your own blog post. It's completely customizable. You can brand it however you want. This is an example of a client of ours that has the same approach that we like to do, where we really see websites becoming less about transacting every single time on the site only, and more of a list of all the places that you can buy this product. More of think of it more like your own marketplace. So this seller happens to be only on Amazon and their own site. So they have the option of the buy now button, and then they have the Amazon button. They're international, so they're UK, Europe, Canada, somewhere else I can't remember. But that drop down actually gives you the option to select which country you're in, and you can select whichever Amazon country that you want to purchase from, and you can click away and go directly to the listing. So I always get, when we first talk to sellers about this idea, they always get in an uproar. Like, why would I do that? I make no margins on Amazon. They, 30% when I'm FBA and blah, blah, blah. It's all these issues. Here's the thing. Take a page out of Amazon's book. Think about the consumer first, then think about your business. If a consumer comes to your page and they see that you sell on Amazon and Walmart and Jet, and you're in 15 different countries on Amazon, it is going to definitely legitimize your brand. It is actually going to show this consumer that, oh, these guys sell all over the world. They sell on multiple marketplaces. they are legitimate. Like it's kind of like having social proof for the most part. So I know a lot of people have that little pop up like down in the corner where it's like, oh, so and so just bought this in Miami, so and so just bought this in Milwaukee, and most of those are wrong. And I feel like consumers have caught on to that's actually fake until they become real because they're getting enough sales. Whereas this, you can actually prove, like, I sell in all these different places, and the average consumer doesn't know that on most of these marketplaces it is relatively simple to get onto Walmart and Jet and eBay and all these things. You just really need an account, but this legitimizes your brand. Now, there's a lot of ways that you can set this up. So you can take it directly to the listing. You can use the source tag and send them to your storefront, which then goes to your listing. To us, I'm not a fan of that because it's one extra step that I don't think is necessary because your website really does act like a storefront. Right. Then you could send them to a promo page. So if you changed this button to say 10% off at Amazon, and you let them click over to a page or to a landing page that actually has a coupon code on there, so now you have that opportunity. Or you can actually use an affiliate link. So the affiliate link that's always interesting to me is that it's still allowed. It seems like a giant loophole to me. I don't understand why Amazon hasn't stopped this. I've actually read the terms of service for the affiliate program, and it actually encourages this right now. But you can, excuse me, you can sign up to be your own Amazon affiliate, make this button your link to your listing, and you'll actually get a commission from your own sale. So the 25-30% that Amazon's taken from you if you're FBA now becomes a little bit less because you get a slight discount from your own affiliate program. It's not, it'll keep your lights on. It's not gonna, like, you know, you're not gonna be rich overnight from an affiliate link, but it's nice to get a little bit back from Amazon. If this approach catches on, I would not be shocked at all if they took this process away from people. But this is kind of the approach that we see this going to. We see in the next 5 years, legitimate brands are going to have a buy now button, then shop on Amazon, shop on Walmart, shop on Jet, shop wherever. So that's kind of where we talk about, okay, what channels to use. So now we've spoken about how to drive the traffic. Now we're going to talk about where do you drive the traffic from. It really can be anywhere, which we'll kind of dive into each of these. So obviously I just spoke about doing it on your own sites, whether in Shopify, BigCommerce, Magento, Volusion, WooCommerce, whatever. But you have all these options now. Amazon is giving you the tools to drive traffic however you want. So you can do your own button on your own site. You can do a landing cube landing page. You can do a promo code. You can do a storefront, and all these different options work better for certain channels. So even if you're doing TV, you might want to, it's probably better to do a landing cube page because in that case, you can actually have an easier URL for someone to read on a TV and then go away and click that way. Same with email, it's a little bit easier, or even a billboard. Social media, now you can utilize a link and you can change things. You can test where do you want to send this traffic. In a lot of cases, we actually, when we do social ads and stuff like that, we'll actually A, B, C, D, however many letters, test driving traffic to the site, to the storefront, to the listing, to a landing cube page, to anywhere else, and see, okay, which one's converting better, that one, all right, let's stick with that one and turn the other ones off. And each product is different, each category is different, each brand is different, so it's not going to be the same for everyone. This is you guy. I'll let you take this one.
Yeah. So I mean, you know, what we were talking about in terms of not sending it straight to the regular listing, you know, sending it to your website or the storefront page, or in this case, a landing cube page. You know, so basically you're building a sales funnel. So you're driving traffic from, you know, any source you can think of, and then you know, the customer or the potential customer will land on, in this case, the landing queue page. And if they put in their email, then they'll get a promo code to go to Amazon and, you know, an incentive to buy, and then you get that sale. And if they don't buy then and there, well, then you got the email to eventually lead them towards a purchase.
So we have, like, I need to find like a better way to say this so I can actually like coin the phrase, but I always try to explain to sellers like this second best KPI after sales is an email. And it's amazing how when we speak about it, like, oh, are you getting emails? Are you getting emails? Are you using this? Are you doing emails? And everyone always goes, no, like, and I don't really care. I don't need an email. It's not just about having the ability to send a newsletter once a month. There is so much more you can do with an email. I could take that email and have 50, 60 emails, throw it into an audience in Facebook and target those people. I don't care if they unsubscribed. I can still use their email. There's no rule against that right now. So I can take those emails and go run an ad to them. The other option is I can take those emails, put it into Facebook and do a lookalike audience. So now I have all this data of people that have purchased with me before, or at minimum, people who showed interest in purchasing with me before. And I can now take all that data, stretch it out and go after a wider audience and scale that way. So there's so much you can, I see email as like your digital social security number almost. Like you could go after, you can get any information from people now, especially on social, because everyone plugs everything into Facebook and Instagram, Twitter, and everything.
Right, and I mean, not even to mention, asking for reviews. If you're launching more products in the future, you have a list of people that have, like you said, shown a ready and willingness to, they're interested in your product. So that's a great segment of people to shoot promotions to launch a new product with.
Yeah, exactly. And even if you think, okay, I'm going to blast out, let's say you have a huge list of emails and you also have a list of emails of people who haven't filled it out in a long time. You can segment out those people and go after the ones who, and basically you now have a glorified customer win back campaign, and you still don't even have your own website in this regard. So having the ability to have emails and having an email list can be utilized so much more than just sending out an email once a month with the 5% discount code.
Yeah, and this is just an example of what the landing pages look like. They're super easy to build. Basically, you take the Amazon link and it scrapes the data from the listing and creates this landing page that looks a lot like the Amazon listing, except you got this claim coupon code in the right, and then you have these scarcity elements which double conversion rates. The thing that says how many coupons are left and when the sale ends, and then you got the product details and reviews. You can handpick reviews to use, and then FAQs, and then here on the right with the mobile screens, this just shows where people input their contact info, and then the coupon shows up right there.
Cool. So if I have I actually want to ask you a few questions about this. I've used it a couple times on smaller sellers where it was a lot easier. But when you have like a really large collection, does it just pull the data from Amazon, or do you have to input the imagery and all of the content and everything on your own?
Wait, can you repeat the question? So with someone with a bunch of products?
Yeah, let's say I have hundreds of products. Do I have to manually put them in, or do you guys have a connection into Amazon where it will just run everything if I just plug in an ASIN or something?
Yeah, I mean you just take the URL and plug it in.
That's awesome. So we have we're trying to change some things that we say around here, and we try to say the consumer's not stupid, they're lazy, which is more accurate. It's more accurate. That's one of the things I love about the way the landing queue page looks, is that it looks just like a listing. And I'm not stupid. I know it's not, but I'm also too lazy to dig in to find out, like, is this really Amazon or not? So it's nice to have this ability to be able to get a consumer on a page and have them think they're on Amazon. It looks just like they're on Amazon. So that way there's not a huge, all of a sudden there's like a giant brand change and the consumer gets nervous because they're like, oh, I don't know where I am anymore, or this is kind of sketchy, and they leave. So that's why I completely understand why there would be such an improvement of a conversion rate, because of how similar the two look. And you're allowed to use Amazon's logo? That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean we're helping them get sales. Yeah.
Well, that's a good point. Yeah. I guess that's the same thing for the affiliate program, and the fact where they don't care. They're bringing more sales, so why not?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean we had customers, because we have customers that use their affiliate links to for these landing pages. So when you go to Amazon, it uses the affiliate link. And a lot of them had, thought, oh, this can't be legal. But I've talked to Amazon several times, and they're like, yeah, Absolutely. Do it. And yeah, this is just a graph. This is an old graph. I think this is from April, but this just shows the data that for all the landing pages and the discount code, the discounts that were given versus conversion rate. So you actually see it like peaks around like 60 to 75%, and then it goes down. So I mean, when you're giving out a discount, one thing to note is that anything 50% or over, you're not going to be able to get the verified reviews on Amazon. And then, anything over 75%, I think this is our hypothesis, people go from, wow, this is a great deal to, all right, why are they trying to get rid of this?
Yeah. Nice. This is a cool graph. Oh, for everyone, which I totally forgot to mention, I'll send these slides out, so you'll all have these slides by the end of the day. So feel free to hang on. We'll have them in your email. So this was yours as well on which channels to choose.
Yeah, I mean, you've already mentioned this earlier. It's just that no single source of traffic is going to be best for everyone. If you have an existing email list, it obviously makes sense to to blast the email list, because that's the lowest hanging fruit. If you have a ton of experience with Pinterest and you're selling to, your products are very visual oriented and selling mainly to women, then Pinterest makes sense. So it depends on, like you said, every niche is going to be different, every audience is going to be different, and it's important to take an experimental mindset to this. Think, where on the web can I get in front of my potential customers, and then experiment with campaigns to to test that hypothesis.
Yeah, we find sellers sometimes who are spending way too much time on the wrong social platform.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
You're a very heavy B2B business, and you're doing all these social posts, and you go, yeah, but we're catering them towards the business community. And I go, yeah, but the business community is on LinkedIn, and that's
Right.
the majority of where they are and where they engage. So it's not only important to know your customer, but it's important to know where they are. They may not be on Instagram if they're not a younger audience. Or Pinterest is great. Pinterest is a great example of something where it's like everyone's on there. I always thought it was primarily female. We actually just did it. We did a blog post. I think it went out a couple weeks ago, but it was basically on the massive male market on Pinterest that no one is taking advantage of. And it's guys who are basically doing like tailgating recipe boards and like man cave decoration ideas on like cool stuff to do. So it really is becoming even bigger than it was before, which is why we've kind of started to dabble with the ads in Pinterest there as well. But Pinterest is a great example because you can just use those affiliate links and your landing cube links and everything. Like, you just put them everywhere and just go to town on it. Mike said, great presentation. You're predicting all of my questions. Just make a question up, Mike. We'll answer one for you. Facebook, Instagram advertising.
Yeah, I mean, Facebook is a great. It's usually besides for the email, if you have a big email list, it's kind of like the first one that a lot of people go to, just because, I mean, it has a huge user base, billions. I think over 2 billion people are on Facebook. Not to mention, a Facebook ad also gives you the option to show on Instagram too. And their targeting tools are very sophisticated. You can use the lookalike audiences, and then you can build out your own audiences based on what you think your ideal customer is. And then again, I want to hammer this home again. It's important to experiment, A/B test, ABCD test, like you said. So this ad show here on the right, we were targeting people that had a birthday coming up. So you can do that on Facebook, people that have an upcoming birthday. And yeah, again, just I mean, we're not going to go too deep into the advertising, but tailoring the image, the copy, and the targeting audience, just make sure it's cohesive, so you're showing the ad to the right audience.
Yeah.
And yeah, this is just a This is a screenshot of a campaign that a customer of ours did. They had 2 to 3 years of sales on Shopify. It was for they were selling pants, and they were wanting to launch on Amazon. They hadn't been selling on Amazon, so they used their email list, and we could see they built an email list of people that subscribed to receive content but weren't purchasers, and then an email list of actual customers. And that compared to these two lookalike audiences compared to the audience that they just built based on behavior and interests and demographics. I mean, you could see the leads for the lookalike audience, they were getting at less than $2 versus, more than $11 per lead for the other audience. So, I mean, in terms of driving traffic to Facebook, if you have an email list from sales elsewhere, that's just like, that's another of the low-hanging fruit. And also, if you have sales on Amazon, you can use the customer data that Amazon gives you in the fulfillment reports, and do some messing around with the spreadsheet and make a lookalike audience from there. It's not a good idea to make a custom audience and direct target ads directly to the people that have bought from you on Amazon, just because Amazon doesn't like that. You're marketing to their customers, but yeah, you can use a lookalike audience.
So I wanted to touch on this one. This is my favorite. So my job really is to just sit here and poke holes and stuff and then find ways to plug them. So one of the issues that we found with the whole putting a button on your own website theory or driving traffic to really anywhere to Amazon is you can't track it, and Facebook doesn't know either. So you can't put a pixel anywhere. So what we found out is you can do a custom event on Facebook and put that event code into the button on your website. And what you can actually do there is you can now do a custom audience of how many people did that specific event. So you can do a remarketing campaign to your site and just exclude everyone who actually reached that button and clicked it. So now everyone who went to your site and clicked to Amazon, you're not going to run an ad to them anymore because they may have purchased you at Amazon. We find a lot of sellers who have heard about this and they put a button up on their site or they're doing anything along those lines, and then they realize oh man, I'm retargeting to people who just ended up going to Amazon and buying from me, and this is ad money that I'm just spending, and my frequency is getting ridiculously high, my relevancy score is crap, and blah blah, and they keep going back and forth. So we found a way to actually exclude the audience that you push to Amazon. So now you can run these things. So you have your cold campaign. So you would include your new audience, and then you would exclude people who clicked a call to action, is how we used to do this. Now you have the ability where you can include, and you would include the new audience, but you would just exclude anyone who clicked that button on Amazon. And of course, for remarketing, it's the same process. You're going to just exclude website purchasers, and now you're going to actually exclude people who clicked that custom event. So the reason this says clicked call to action is because we just finally figured out how to do this 3 or 4 days ago, and I never changed it in these slides. So when you guys download these slides, change out clicked call to action to custom event. But same thing with an abandoned cart abandoned cart campaign or anything along those lines. So these campaigns off to the side are just examples of stuff that we did to test the cold campaign. So the other problem with pushing traffic directly to your site is, especially on Facebook, people know that it's going to take them to a site, and they may just go I don't want to go to whoever's site this is, and they may actually want to go to Amazon. So what we do is we take these audiences and we run the exact same ad. We just duplicate it. One goes to Amazon and it says available on Amazon, or we do something catered towards the fact that this actually goes to Amazon, and the other one actually goes to the site. So yes, we want to push traffic to the site, but if someone doesn't want to go to the site, I'll push traffic to Amazon as well. So then we can send them to the storefront. We can send them to a landing queue page. We can send them to something completely different. And that's how we start to A, B, C, D, E, F, G test. Whichever one is converting the best, we let that one run, and then we pause the other ones. Which in some cases, for some brands, an entire ad, all ads to the website may work. And for some brands, one or two may work for the website, one or two products may work for Amazon, one or two products may work for a landing page. Like they're all completely different. So we always suggest to test every single ad and every single place where they're landing as much as possible to actually see which one's working, because every brand and every product for that brand is different.
Awesome. So yeah, then another way to drive traffic. So instead of building up your own audience, an influencer campaign, you're basically, taking advantage of someone that has an existing audience. So a YouTuber, a Snapchatter, Instagram star, integrating with their audience and showing your brand to their audience. And so I mean, these types of campaigns are usually a better long game play. So it takes a while to kind of integrate with the audience, or we have seen people just do, short term, just blast this, an Instagram person just blasts a sale to their audience. But the long-term game usually works better.
Yeah, this is a great example of not just worrying about transacting, but also worrying about building your brand.
Right.
A lot of people always ask us, like, I don't need to build a brand. I just want to transact. I just want to sell. And the reason we always say don't pigeonhole yourself into staying on Amazon is the same reason we say don't pigeonhole yourself into just worrying about PPC all the time with Google ads or with social media ads, because you can transact all day and then Amazon suspends you and now you make zero money.
Done.
You can run PPC ads all day and then you turn those off, or your credit card gets broken for a day or whatever issue you have, and now all of a sudden you're out of money. With stuff like this, with influencer campaigns, with emails, with any kind of branding, any kind of content creation and all of your SEO, you're building an asset of your business, not just a transacting machine. You want it to be both. You want your website you want your business to be its own like backup generator. Like you want organic traffic to be there when everything else goes crap. Or obviously you want it to help at the same time, but you want to have that backup plan, and building a brand and having organic traffic and using influencers like this is a great example and a great reason to make sure that your business stays safe at all times. So I mentioned, I don't know if anyone was listening, but I was a Steelers fan, so I threw this in. So of course, the other way to do, of course, I just said like PPC ads aren't, be careful with them. Well, here we are. But so this is,
good tool.
If you have so this is an example when you have that button on Amazon on your own site. You now have the ability, you can run shopping ads like anyone else, and now you're pushing traffic to all of your marketplaces. That's your own website, Amazon, wherever that button may link to, or anything like that. Then you have your product landing pages, or your search landing pages, so obviously you can do search ads, and you can put them anywhere you want. You can have them go anywhere you want. You can have them go directly to your product listing, you can have them go to a landing page, you can have them go straight to Amazon, you can do anything you want there where you're not going to get flagged by Google. So now this opens up the ability to do Google ads to send traffic to Amazon, which this screenshot I grabbed actually wasn't a good example, but a majority of times when you search for stuff, you'll actually see that Amazon is up here with the shopping ads anyway. So in some cases, for some of our larger sellers, we have this issue all the time where we go to test and see like, okay, are they showing up with certain keywords? And it's always like their product is showing up on their site, and then like right next to it is their product on Amazon. So either way, you're getting that sale. So you want the real estate, but you also want your consumer to have the ability to shop wherever they want so that they're most comfortable. Boom. So I'm going to run a quick poll real quick, and then we're going to get to questions and stuff. I just would love to hear what everyone thought of how everything went so far. So that was all the content we had prepared, but of course we're going to go through some questions. We had a few that we'll try to get into, and then we have some stuff to give away too, which I can do that in just a second. You know what? So here's the good thing about the poll. 0 people have picked not what I expected. So that's great. 83% of you said it was awesome. 17%, it was okay. You know what? We can't please everyone, so that's okay. Mm-mm. What are you gonna do? We're at 20% now. Thanks, buddy. but 80% of you loved the webinar, so I really appreciate that. So let's get into a couple questions. But while you're preparing your questions, which start sending those in so we can get to those, we can talk a little bit about what we have to give away. And Thomas, I'll let you start it off.
Yeah, so for everybody that attended today, we're going to give a 30% lifetime discount on LandingCube, which is the largest discount we've ever given out. So, but yeah, you know, again, what LandingCube does, you basically, you take the Amazon URL, plug it into the landing page generator, and it makes a landing page within a minute. And you can, you know, we have customizable options. And then you upload single-use promo codes, and when someone lands on it, puts in their email, they get the promo code, go to Amazon. We have an integration with Messenger coming up soon, so instead of putting in their email, they just sign up for Messenger, and it just automatically sends the code there. And we also have a super easy integration with Facebook with the Pixel. So, you know, for instance, that you were mentioning the call to action button, when you click that and go to Amazon, you don't have to, with LandingCube, you don't have to make that custom event and put the code in your back end. You can just, you basically just take your Pixel, copy and paste it into LandingCube, and then, you know, we automatically track those events. So you can, you know, build targeting audiences later. So again, you get a 30% lifetime discount on LandingCube. And so if you go to landingcube.com and you can just use the discount code BRAND to get that. And I'll also send out a couple free guides, some content in the follow-up email afterward. And yeah, so why don't you take it away? And
yeah, perfect. Yeah, so one of the things a lot of Amazon sellers will find, the end area of driving traffic to Amazon is that they're going to land on your listing at one point. So it should be optimized. So that means all of your images, that inclusive obviously of your search terms, but your imagery, how your content's written, enhanced brand content, all that fun stuff. So we have a ebook we did on Amazon listing optimization, what we know as best practices and what we've seen work. So feel free to download that. It is not gated in any way, shape, or form. Just click there and it should start downloading immediately. And then we're giving away a 30-minute marketing consultation. I really don't have any actual limits on it. I usually end up talking longer. But it's Seller's Choice Agency /giveaway. Password is Amazon traffic. And we'll sit down and go over whatever it is you guys are doing right now, and we'll help you out, just direct you in whichever way that you need to be going. So got a few questions here. Let's try to get to a few of them and see what we can. Let's see, question from Mike. Can I push AdWords /Bing ads traffic directly to LandingCube pages?
yes, the answer is yes. Yeah, you just
search ads, right?
Right. Yeah, you just, I mean, you have the destination URL with the ad, and you just put in the LandingCube URL, which will either be, we can host the pages, or you can publish the pages on your own domain.
Perfect. Let's see. I had someone who sent us like a question, but in 15 different ways. I'm trying to read it. Break costume. Hey, dude, I'm gonna have to come back to that one. I'm sorry. For those with their own store, what is the advantage of advertising Amazon listing with Facebook versus just using sponsored ads? We feel the money would be better spent spending on an Amazon platform. Do you want to start this one, or you want me to?
I mean, I'll just say that it's like the more tools you have at your exposure, the better. Definitely, you should be doing sponsored products, right?
Yeah.
I mean, for sure. You know, we like to say that driving traffic's kind of like, you know, once you have everything optimized that your ebook talks about, if you guys download that, once you have, you know, your listing optimized and you're doing sponsored products, you're doing the headline search ads, you're doing the display ads, then once you hit that limit, using these other channels will help you, you know, increase more. Will help you get to that next level. Because if you're only getting 10,000 searches for your main keyword on Amazon, and let's say, 250, or let's say 2,500 results in, people clicking on your listing, and then, 500 purchases. Well, how do you get to that next level? Once you max out on the Amazon searches, then that's where the traffic, the external traffic comes in.
Yeah. The reason your ACoS can be so good on Amazon or at PPC regardless anywhere is because most of the time you are paying to be in front of someone who is actively searching for your product. So they are already on a mission to buy a product similar to yours. So obviously those are going to do well. The money spent off Amazon is really catered towards if you're doing Google ads, you're just opening up to a new area of people who are searching in a different area. So think of that as just a different place for sponsored products, or you're introducing your product to a new audience. So some people who may not be searching for your product, who may want to know that it exists when the time comes. So it's about building that brand. It's dependent on your product. So if you have a product that, let's say, no one's really window shopping for, let's say it's like vacuum filters. So yeah, you definitely want to be doing sponsored products on Amazon. Yes, you definitely want to be doing Google ads because you want to be showing up whenever someone needs to replace it. But social ads, no one's really going to come across a vacuum filter and be like, oh yeah, I'm going to buy a vacuum filter today. Like, you either need one or you don't. So think about why people are buying, think about who's buying, and then think about how to be in front of them at the right time. Someone did mention that my Bitly is going to a Russian page. So really appreciate whoever stole my Bitly, but I will make sure that I put this in the email at the end here so that you guys have the right ebook. So I really sorry about that, but I'll send it over. But I think that's good. A few of you had some other questions that unfortunately were a little difficult to understand, so I didn't want to touch on them. So we'll come back to that. So shoot us an email or message us. We're both on social media. We've done some stuff, Landing Cube before. Obviously, you guys have your social. We have our social. Feel free to reach out. My personal one's on this slide too. So if we didn't get any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. We'd love to make sure we get to any of the questions, make sure that everyone leaves happy and got all their questions answered. But thank you so much for attending. I will be sending out the slides, and we should have the video up on our YouTube channel hopefully soon. Of course, Landing Cube will have this everything as well. But thank you so much for joining us, Thomas. Appreciate it.
Thank you, man.
Enjoy Austin. Thanks, guys. Good luck in Q4, and keep selling. Thanks, boy. Bye.